Hello, this is Clara at Books and Questions, and today we are talking about book formats. A little while back, Katie from Effusions of Wit and Katie from The Book Wanderer both posted videos about book formats, what they prefer, what they've liked in the past, and I thought it was really fascinating and I wanted to join the discussion. So, here are my thoughts. Okay, just to start off, I wanted to say that I absolutely love audiobooks. I always have, I think I always will. I love that I can do something while I'm reading a book. That seems incredibly liberating and wonderful. But I'm not really going to talk about that here because I think most of the conversation has been about paper books versus ebooks or reading on a phone or a tablet or something, and I'd like to really focus on that here. I had some concerns about ebooks the first time I heard about them. I was concerned, first of all, that they can't be lent because they're not an object. You can't let someone borrow your book once you've finished it, or if you decide you didn't like the book very much, you can't pass it along to someone else who might like it more. Second thing that I was concerned about with ebooks is how much of the design of the book you lose. I love the work that designers put into a book in terms of font, in terms of illustrations, and crazy things like in Harry Potter, Hagrid's letter where he's been crying on the book, and is this in the British version too, or just the American? I don't know. It's great. I love that stuff. I eat it up, and it's just not the same when you have it sort of morphed into the regular Kindle font or whatever. I was like, nah, that's a lot you're losing. The third thing I was sort of concerned about is that a technology's got to be pretty phenomenal for it to replace the book. The book as a piece of technology? This has been around for thousands of years and with good reason. Books can be beautiful. Books are convenient. Books last a super long time. IKEA had a spoof commercial that was poking fun of Apple products, where it advertised its catalog as not an ebook but a book, and went through the various parts of how excellent a book is. It was charming. So I never thought I would like ebooks or want to have one. And then I moved to the Netherlands, and things changed. I no longer had access to a library. I no longer worked in a bookstore and had access to those books. My sweet, sweet mother-in-law bought me a Kindle, and I've really grown to love it. The thing that really was a turning point for me was that I didn't need to buy ebooks to read them on my Kindle. I could use the library just like I always had, just using my e-reader. I had at first been reading books on the Kindle that I purchased. A lot of people had given me gift cards for Amazon because they weren't sure what to send me across the ocean. I don't usually buy books that I haven't read or don't already love, so it wasn't a very comfortable situation for me. And then I got a out-of-residence membership to my library back home, which meant that I could use their audiobooks and ebooks, and it was great. And I really learned to love reading on an e-reader. I have a Kindle Touch. One of the things I like most about it is how lightweight it is. It's very thin, and I have a cover that I made for it. And I can fit my hand into the back here, so I can turn the pages with one hand, which I really enjoy. Not even needing to use two hands to read a book is great. Since I've read so much more on the e-reader than in paper books in the last year, I have started to notice when I do read a physical book that I'm sometimes distressed by how heavy it is, especially if I'm reading a mass market. This is the type of book that's built like a brick and has the super cheap paper. It also usually has very small font and thin margins, so you're really having to hold your book open, and I don't know, it's not comfortable to read in the same way. They're usually cheaper, so that's their main appeal. I much prefer trade paperbacks that are this size. So see the difference in size? Does this make sense? Mass market, trade paperback. Especially if it's like a higher quality paperback. This is my favorite form to read in. This one has nice thick paper and even has the end folds, which is beautiful. And it's just a pleasure to hold. It opens nicely, you don't need to press it open. When I'm reading really long books, I especially want to have either an e-reader or a well broken in hardback. I don't find the middle stuff as comfortable to read. I enjoy hardcovers, but of course they are more expensive. I like how easily they hold and how wide the margins are, even for a smaller one. Like this is the same size. They're the same size as each other. Bigger hardbacks as well are really nice if you're reading sitting up. Holding this over your face gets tiring. I would love to hear from you in the comments, or if you want to make a video of your own about how you read, with what, on what. Do you like listening to audiobooks? Do you not like it? Do you only read paper books? Do you prefer hardcover or paperback? Does it matter if it's heavy or light? Does it matter with what kind of book you're reading? Yeah, I just like to know. All right, thanks for listening. It's been a pleasure. Bye!